Imagine finding a single penny in your old drawer and realizing it's worth over $1 million. Sounds like a dream, right? But that dream actually came true for a few lucky people who discovered one of the most famous coins in U.S. history, the 1943 copper penny, also known as the $1 million error. Welcome back to OldCoin Secrets, where every coin tells a story and sometimes that story is worth a fortune. The year that changed everything. 1943. Let's rewind to World War II. The year 1943. America was fighting on multiple fronts, and every resource mattered, especially copper, the metal used in bullets, wires, and war machinery. To save copper for the war, the U.S. Mint made a major decision. They stopped making pennies out of copper and switched to steel coated with zinc. So every penny minted in 1943 was supposed to be gray silver in color, not the usual reddish brown. But mistakes happen, and this mistake made history. The legendary minting error. During the metal changeover, a few leftover copper planches blanks from 1942 were accidentally fed into the coin presses at the mint. These were struck with 1943 dies, producing a few rare 1943 copper pennies. Only a handful escaped the mint before anyone noticed. And those few became the most famous error coins in American history. How many exist? Experts believe only about 15 to 20 genuine 1943 copper pennies have ever been confirmed. Some from Philadelphia, a few from Denver, and possibly one from San Francisco. How to identify a real 1943 copper penny? Now here's the part that makes collectors go wild. How to tell if yours is real. Color. The coin should have a warm reddish-brown copper tone, not silver gray like normal 1943 steel cents. Magnet test real 1943. Copper pennies are not magnetic, while steel pennies stick to a magnet instantly. Weight. Copper pennies weigh around 3.11 grams, compared to 2.7 grams for steel. Mint marks. You'll see either no mint mark, Philadelphia, a small D, Denver, or rarely an S from San Francisco. If you ever find one that passes these tests, congratulations. You might be holding one of the rarest coins ever made. The shocking market value. So how much are we talking about? Over the years, auction houses have seen jaw-dropping bids for these coins. In 1958, a 1943 copper penny sold for $40,000, a record at the time. In 1996, another fetched $80,500. In 2010, a collector paid $1.7 million for one. And in recent years, verified examples have been valued between $250,000 to over $2 million, depending on condition and mint mark. The Denver minted 1943 D copper penny is considered the rarest of all. One sold for a stunning $175 million in a private sale. That's a single penny worth more than a Lamborghini, a mansion, or even a college degree. Fun fact, the mystery of the mint. For decades, collectors debated how this error even happened. The most accepted theory is that during the transition from 1942 to 1943, a few copper planches got stuck in the coin presses or hoppers. When mint workers started pressing 1943 steel pennies, those leftover copper blanks were struck by mistake. So technically this was a pure accident, a mix of old metal and new designs. But that accident turned into numismatic gold, a coin that changed collecting forever. Before the 1943 copper penny, error coins were not widely collected or valued by the public. But after newspapers began reporting about a penny worth thousands of dollars, America went on a treasure hunt. Kids raided their piggy banks. Adults dug through jars of change. People visited banks just to exchange coins, hoping to find one. It became a national phenomenon. And today that legacy continues. Every coin collector dreams of discovering one in circulation. Fake or real? Beware of counterfeits. Whenever a coin becomes famous and valuable, counterfeiters follow. Thousands of fake 1943 copper pennies have appeared. Some are steel coins painted brown, others are altered 1948 pennies, since the 3 and 8 can look similar when modified. So before you celebrate your millionaire moment, always get your coin certified by PCGS or NGC, the top coin grading companies. Check for correct weight, color, and magnetism. Never clean or polish the coin, it lowers its value. Why it's so valuable. The 1943 copper penny isn't just a piece of metal. It's a story of wartime, America, human error, and incredible luck. Its value comes from historical rarity, A mistake during war production. Limited quantity, like maybe 15, 20 exist. Public fame. It's featured in newspapers, books, and TV shows. Collector demand. Every numismatist wants one in their collection. Some even call it the holy grail of pennies. Today's market 2025 update. As of 2025, depending on condition and certification, a well-circulated genuine 1943 copper penny can bring 150,000 to 50,000. Mint state examples, MES 63, MES 65, can sell for 500,000, 1 million. Top-graded specimens or rare mint marks, like 1943D, have reached 1.7 million or more. And with demand for rare error coins skyrocketing online, experts believe prices may go even higher in the coming decade. The 1943 copper penny isn't just a coin. It's a reminder that history, luck, and value can sometimes fit in the palm of your hand. So next time you see an old penny lying around, take a closer look. It might just be the coin that changes your life. Because in the world of coins, even the smallest piece of metal can hold $1 million secret. Coin number 2, 1909, VDB Lincoln Cent, the penny that started a legend. It all began in 1909, a year that changed U.S. coinage forever. For the first time in American history, a circulating coin would bear the image of a real person, Abraham Lincoln, the beloved 16th President of the United States. The U.S. Mint wanted to honor Lincoln's 100th birthday with a brand new cent design. Until then, every cent had displayed symbolic figures like Lady Liberty or flying eagles, never an actual person. So when designer Victor David Brenner presented his bold new portrait of Lincoln, it marked the dawn of a new era in American coin design, and unknowingly, the beginning of one of the most famous collector stories in the world, the birth of the Lincoln Cent. Victor David Brenner, a Lithuanian-American sculptor, had been commissioned by President Theodore Roosevelt himself. Roosevelt admired Brenner's artistic work and wanted Lincoln's image to reflect both dignity and humanity. Brenner modeled the coin after a photographic portrait of Lincoln by Matthew Brady, and beneath Lincoln's shoulder, he proudly placed his initials, VDB. These 3 little letters would soon cause one of the biggest controversies in U.S. Mint history, the initials controversy. When the new Lincoln Cent debuted in August 1909, Americans loved it, but some critics noticed Brenner's initials on the reverse, at the bottom of the wheat stalks. They argued the letters were too prominent, as if the artist were taking too much credit. Newspapers called it advertising on money. Within days, the U.S. Mint ordered the initials removed from the design. By then, the San Francisco Mint had already struck only 484,000 coins bearing the S, mint mark, and VDB initials. That tiny mintage instantly turned the 1909 VDB Lincoln Cent into a numismatic legend. The design details. Obverse, bust of Abraham Lincoln facing right, the word liberty on the left and God we trust above, and the date 1909 on the right. Reverse, 2 wheat ears framing 1 cent, United States of America, with A pluribus unum at the top. Designer, Victor David Brenner, VDB. Mint mark, small s under the date for the San Francisco Mint. Composition, 95% copper, 5% tin and zinc. It was simple, symbolic, and elegant. A coin designed to stand the test of time. Spotting a real 1909 VDB. Because the coin is so valuable, it's also one of the most counterfeited U.S. coins ever. Here's how experts authenticate it. Mint mark. The S should be sharp and well-formed, slightly tilted right. Many fakes are created by adding an S to a regular 1909 VDB cent. Initials. Look for clear VDB, centered between the wheat stalks at the bottom reverse rim. Color and luster. Real coins have that rich, original reddish-brown or chocolate brown tone, not a polished or shiny look. Weight 3.11 grams. Exactly the standard bronze cent weight. If your coin matches these, you might just be holding a piece of American coinage history. Market value and rarity. With only 484,000 pieces struck, this is the key date for Lincoln Cent collectors. Values today, 2025 market. Good, G4, $900 or $200. Fine, F12, $400, but $800. Extremely fine, XF40, $2,000, $3,000. Uncirculated, MS60 to MS63, $3,500, $7,000. Red Brown MS65, $10,000. Gem Red MS67. Recorded auction over $50,000, $70,000. Collectors consider it the king of Lincoln cents. Even circulated coins fetch hundreds, because nearly every serious Lincoln cent set must include this rarity. The collector frenzy of 1909, when rumors spread that the mint was withdrawing coins with VDB initials. The public went wild. Newspapers printed headlines like, "New Lincoln pennies being called in. Get yours before it's too late." People lined up at banks, trading and hoarding them by the rolls. Children saved them in envelopes marked "Don't Spend Rare." That frenzy helped spark the modern era of coin collecting in America. Brenner's legacy. Victor David Brenner never expected such uproar. He simply wanted to sign his work, just like any artist would. Ironically, the controversy gave him immortality. Today, his initials VDB are once again on Lincoln cents, this time in tiny letters beneath Lincoln's shoulder, where they've remained since 1918. A century later, collectors still admire his artistry, and the coin that bears his name remains one of the most famous American coins ever struck. Fun facts: some 1909 VDB cents were minted without the S mark, Philadelphia Mint. Those are common, how only the 1909 SVDB is the true rarity. In 2009, the U.S. Mint celebrated the 100th anniversary of the design by reissuing commemorative Lincoln cents. The 1909 SVDB is one of the few coins whose story has been taught in U.S. history classes. The investment value today. Coin experts say the 1909 SVDB Lincoln Cent remains a blue-chip investment in numismatics. It consistently performs well in auctions because demand always exceeds supply. It appeals to both beginners and elite collectors. It's affordable in lower grades yet priceless in top condition. In the next decade, analysts expect values to continue climbing, especially for certified red specimens graded MS65 and above. Some estimates suggest we could see six-figure sales within the next few years. The 1909 SVDB Lincoln Cent isn't just another old penny. It's a cornerstone of American numismatic history. It represents art, controversy, and rarity all in one small coin. From the bold decision to honor Lincoln, to the sudden public obsession that followed, this coin tells the story of a nation discovering both its heroes and its heritage. In copper form, and even now over a century later, collectors still chase the dream of owning one, because sometimes a single penny can hold the power of a legend. Coin number 3, 1955 double die Lincoln Cent, the coin that shocked America. It was an ordinary night at the Philadelphia Mint in 1955. Machines clattered, metal clinked, and workers fed blank copper planchets into massive presses by the thousands. No one knew that amid all that noise and rhythm, a simple mechanical slip would create one of the most famous error coins in U.S. history. A mistake so striking that it stunned collectors, confused the public, and became one of the most sought-after coins ever made. That mistake was the 1955 double die Lincoln Cent. How the error happened. Back in the 1950s, coin dies were made by hand, of a long, detailed process that required precision and patience. Each die, the engraved metal stamp that strikes the design onto coins, had to be impressed multiple times with a master hub to bring out full design details. If the die shifted even slightly between impressions, the design could be doubled, meaning every word, date, and feature appeared twice, slightly offset. That's exactly what happened in 1955. One working die at the Philadelphia Mint received two misaligned impressions, resulting in a dramatic doubling on the obverse. Lincoln's portrait, the motto "In God We Trust, Liberty," and the date 1955 all showed clear, bold doubling visible to the naked eye. But no one noticed at first. When that flawed die was used to strike roughly 20,000 to 24,000 coins, they were mixed with millions of normal cents and released into circulation, accidentally unleashing one of the greatest numismatic surprises of the 20th century. The public reaction. Within months, Americans began finding strange pennies in their change. Store clerks, factory workers, and school kids all noticed it. The words "In God We Trust" appeared blurry, doubled, almost ghost-like. Some thought it was counterfeit. Others thought it was a printing trick. Then coin collectors confirmed it. A genuine mint error, and not just a minor one, but one of the most dramatic in U.S. mint history. The 1955 double die instantly became famous nationwide. Newspapers picked up the story. People began checking their pockets every morning hoping to find one. It was the coin that made error collecting mainstream. How to identify the 1955 double die? The doubling on this coin is so dramatic that even beginners can spot it instantly. No magnifying glass required. Here's what to look for. Obverse, front. The words liberty and in God we trust show bold. Clear doubling, almost like two overlapping sets of letters. The date 1955 also appears doubled, especially the 1 and 9. Lincoln's portrait remains normal. The doubling is isolated to the inscriptions and date. Reverse back. The reverse design featuring the wheat ears shows no doubling. Mint mark. None. All genuine 1955 double die cents were struck in Philadelphia, so there's no mint mark under the date. Beware of counterfeits. Because of its fame and high value, this coin has been copied endlessly. There are several fake varieties that try to mimic the doubling, usually through mechanical or machine doubling, which looks flat and shelf-like instead of rounded and distinct. True doubling looks bold, thick, and three-dimensional, like a double strike. Machine doubling looks flat and thin, almost like the letters are vibrating. Collectors recommend buying certified examples only, from PCGS or NGC, especially for high-value pieces, the numbers behind the legend. No one knows exactly how many genuine 1955 double die cents survived, but experts estimate between 15,000 and 20,000. Most were released in New England, especially in the Boston area, mixed into cigarette machine rolls. People back then could literally pull a $1,000 error coin from a 25C pack of cigarettes. It's said that the entire roll of these coins was accidentally distributed by a single bank before the error was discovered, making it one of the rarest and most geographically concentrated error releases in history. Market value, 2025 estimates. The 1955 double die Lincoln Cent remains one of the top 5 most valuable modern U.S. coins. Grade. Approx value USD. Fine F12. WASU 200. 1-800. Extremely fine XF40. 2500. 3500. Uncirculated MS60. $6,000. $9,000. MS63 red. $12,000. $18,000. MS65 red. $25,000. $40,000. Record auction, MS65 plus red, $50,000 Templar. Because it's so visually dramatic and instantly recognizable, this error remains one of the most liquid coins in the market, meaning it sells fast and always attracts bidders. Why collectors love it? Unlike many obscure mint errors that require microscopes or special lighting, the 1955 double die is obvious. You can see the mistake right away. It's dramatic. It's beautiful. And it's a perfect conversation piece. Collectors call it the king of double dies. It's also historically important. It sparked decades of interest in error coins, inspiring generations of collectors to look more closely at their change. Even today, every serious Lincoln Cent set includes a slot specifically for the 1955 double die obverse. Fun facts: the 1955 double die wasn't the first double die ever made, but it was the first one to gain national fame among the public. The mint tried to recall the coins once the error was discovered, but most had already entered circulation. There's also a poor man's double die, a common, much less valuable variety caused by machine doubling. It's worth only a few dollars. Historical context: 1955 was a year of post-war prosperity in America. People were buying their first televisions. Rock and roll was taking over the airwaves, and the average penny barely meant anything in terms of purchasing power. But for collectors, that one tiny cent, born from an unnoticed mechanical flaw, became a symbol of perfection through imperfection. It showed that even in an age of machines, human error could create something unexpectedly beautiful and valuable. The coin market today. In the current market, as of 2025, the 1955 double die Lincoln Cent continues to perform extremely well. Certified red uncirculated coins consistently sell above $20,000, and high-grade full red examples are breaking new auction records every year. Demand is strong worldwide, especially in the US and Japan, where collectors view error coins as symbols of rarity and craftsmanship. Analysts expect prices to rise steadily as the number of surviving pieces continues to shrink due to natural attrition and private collections going off market. Why it's so special? The 1955 double die isn't just a mistake. It's a masterpiece of accident. It's one of those rare times when the mint's imperfection created something extraordinary. It captures everything collectors love about coinage. A real story. A visible dramatic error, limited quantity, and a legacy that outlived its creators. This is the coin that made ordinary Americans into coin hunters. Proof that even a penny can become a national treasure. The 1955 double-die Lincoln Cent stands as a reminder that sometimes the smallest mistakes make the biggest impact. A single misalignment of a die in a noisy Philadelphia mint created a coin now worth tens of thousands of dollars and an everlasting chapter in numismatic history. So the next time you see an old wheat penny from the 1950s, look closer, because the world's most famous mint error might just be staring right back at you. Doubled, bold, and legendary. Coin number 4, 1922. No D. Lincoln Cent, the mysterious mint error that shouldn't exist. The year was 1922. The jazz age was roaring. America was thriving, and Lincoln cents jingled in pockets across the nation. But amid all the noise and prosperity, something unusual happened inside the Denver Mint, a production flaw so strange that it created one of the most famous error coins in U.S. history. A coin that shouldn't exist at all. That coin is the legendary 1922 No D Lincoln Cent. The story behind the error. In 1922, the U.S. Mint at Philadelphia didn't strike any Lincoln cents. Only the Denver Mint produced pennies that year, roughly 7 million in total. That means every 1922 Lincoln cent should have a small D mint mark under the date, but mysteriously some don't. These are known as no D cents, and their origin is one of the greatest mechanical mishaps in American minting. Here's what happened. After months of striking millions of coins, the dies, the steel pieces that stamp designs onto blank planchets, began to wear down. To extend their life, mint workers polished and repaired the dies, but in one case, they over-polished so aggressively that the tiny D mint mark below the date was completely erased. Then that weakened die was paired with another worn die, and the result was a batch of faintly struck coins that looked like they had no mint mark at all. Why it's so special? Because Philadelphia didn't mint any Lincoln cents that year. The existence of a 1922 penny without a D seemed impossible. For collectors, it was shocking. How could there be a Philadelphia coin in a year when Philadelphia struck none? That contradiction made it instantly famous among collectors and historians alike. It's the only instance in U.S. coinage where a coin appears to be from a mint that didn't produce any of that denomination in that year. So while technically it's a Denver Mint error, to the naked eye, it looks like a completely different issue, and that's what gives it its mystique. The 3 main varieties. Over time, experts have identified 3 distinct varieties of the 1922 No D cent, each with unique die characteristics. Strong reverse No D, die pair 2. This is the true No D variety and the one collectors crave. It shows a strong reverse strike with sharp wheat stalks and full details, but no visible D mint mark. Lincoln's profile on the obverse is also well defined. These are rare and valuable. Weak D, die pair 1. The mint mark wasn't entirely gone, just weakly visible. The reverse strike is weak and Lincoln's portrait lacks sharpness. Less valuable but still collectible. Faint D or greasy die strike, die pair 3. Resulted from grease or debris clogging the mint mark area. The D appears faint or missing, but under magnification traces can often be seen. Only the first type, strong reverse, No D, is considered the true No D Lincoln cent and commands the highest prices. Design details. Like all Lincoln wheat cents from this era, the 1922 penny features obverse, front, a right-facing portrait of Abraham Lincoln, the inscriptions "In God We Trust, Liberty," and the date, 1922. Normally, the mint mark D appears below the date, except on the error coins. Reverse back. 2 wheat stalks framing the words 1 cent and United States of America. The motto "E pluribus unum" above. Simple, patriotic, and timeless, but in this case, transformed into something extraordinary by one missing letter. Historical context. 1922 was a year of economic transition. The United States had fully recovered from World War I, and coinage production slowed compared to earlier years. Denver was the only mint, striking cents but with aging, equipment and overworked dies. Errors like the no D were almost inevitable. Still, no one expected one of those routine production quirks to become one of the most talked about coins in American numismatic history. Market value, 2025 estimates. The 1922 no D Lincoln Cent remains one of the most valuable coins in the entire wheat penny series, especially for the true strong reverse variety. Great. Approx value USD. Fine F12. 800, Baum 200. Very fine VF20. Far 500, $2,000. Extremely fine XF40. $3,000, $4,500. About uncirculated AU50. $6,000, $8,000. Uncirculated MS60. $10,000, $18,000. MS63 red brown. $25,000, $35,000. Record auction. Over 70,000 plars for an MS64 red example. The coin's value depends heavily on die pairing, strike quality, and color designation: brown, red-brown, or red. Certified examples from PCGS or NGC command the highest prices, especially if verified as strong reverse no D, counterfeits, and fakes. Because of its fame and value, the 1922 no D has been faked countless times. Here's how to protect yourself. Altered coins. Some people file off the D from normal 1922 D cents. These are fake. Weak strikes. A genuine no D has a strong reverse and clear strike details on Lincoln's head. Certification. Always buy coins graded and encapsulated by PCGS, NGC, or Annex. They've authenticated thousands and know the difference between the true no D and the weak varieties. Remember, a real no D cent isn't just missing its mint mark. It has specific die characteristics that confirm its authenticity. Why collectors love it. Collectors adore the 1922 no D because it's a perfect blend of rarity, mystery, and beauty. It's not just another mint error. It's a coin that defies logic. It shouldn't exist, yet it does. Every serious Lincoln Cent collection includes a slot reserved for the 1922 no D. It's considered one of the big four Lincoln rarities alongside 929 VDB, 1914 D, 1922 no D, 2050 double die. These are the four coins that define the series. The Mount Rushmore of Lincoln Cents. Fun fact discovered by chance. The 1922 no D wasn't discovered immediately. Collectors first started noticing them around 1923-1924, when people began comparing pennies and realized something was off. Coin magazines and hobby newsletters of the time debated whether they were genuine mint errors or just altered pieces, until detailed study proved their authenticity. By the 1940s, they had already become legends. Market performance over time. For decades, the 1922 no D has been a steady performer in the rare coin market. While other coins rise and fall in popularity, this one maintains consistent demand. Collectors love it because it represents a true mechanical error, not a rarity by mintage, and it's visually distinct. Even during market slowdowns, auction houses report multiple bids whenever a no D appears for sale, especially in high-grade red examples. How to spot the real deal quick guide. Strong reverse. Look for sharp wheat lines and crisp lettering. No D visible, completely missing mint mark, not faint or polished flat. Sharp portrait. Lincoln's features well defined. Certified slab. PCGS or NGC label confirming no D strong reverse. If all four checks pass, you're looking at one of the most iconic coins in American numismatics. Why it matters. The 1922 no D Lincoln Cent is more than a coin. It's a story about imperfection, human error, and discovery. It reminds us that even in tightly controlled systems like the U.S. Mint, small mistakes can create lasting legends. Each surviving piece carries the mark of that moment, when polishing went too far, and a simple D disappeared into history. It's a symbol of accidental rarity, a coin that turned an error into an icon. The 1922 no D Lincoln Cent stands among America's greatest numismatic mysteries. Born from over-polished dies and minting fatigue, it became one of the most coveted coins in the Lincoln series, and a testament to how something so small can hold so much history. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just learning the ropes, this coin proves one timeless truth. Sometimes what's missing can make something truly priceless. Coin number 5, 1992. Close AM penny. Error. The modern rarity, hiding in plain sight. If you've ever thought rare US coins only come from the 1800s or early 1900s, think again. Because in 1992, the US Mint accidentally created one of the most surprising modern era coins ever discovered. It looks just like an ordinary Lincoln Memorial penny you'd find in your change, but with one tiny design difference worth thousands of dollars. That coin is the 1992 Close AM Lincoln Cent, one of the rarest modern mint varieties in existence. The origin of the error. To understand the 1992 Close AM penny, we have to step back to the early 1990s, when the US Mint was preparing to change the design of the Lincoln Cent. The old reverse design showing the Lincoln Memorial had been used since 1959. But in 1993, the Mint introduced a slightly modified design intended for proof coins, high quality collector versions. Here's the twist. In 1992, a few of those proof coin dies were accidentally used to strike regular circulation pennies. This mix-up created a subtle but powerful error, the Close AM variety. What Close AM means. On the back of a normal penny from 1992, look closely at the letters A and M in the word America. On regular 1992 pennies, the letters are wide apart. This is called the wide AM variety. But on the rare error version, the letters almost touch each other. That's the Close AM. It's such a small detail that most people overlook it completely. Yet it makes the difference between 1 cent and a small fortune. The two main versions. There are actually two Close AM varieties known to exist. High 2 Close AM, Philadelphia Mint, no mint mark. 1992D Close AM, Denver Mint. Both are extremely rare, but the 1992D is the scarcer of the two, with only a handful confirmed. These coins were created when proof dies meant for collector coins were accidentally used on regular planchets during normal production. The design details. Let's break down what makes the Close AM variety special. Obverse, front. Features Abraham Lincoln's classic portrait, designed by Victor D. Brenner. Inscriptions. In God We Trust, Liberty. And the date 1992 with or without D. Reverse back. The Lincoln Memorial with the word America at the top. Normally there's a visible space between the A and M, but in this variety the letters nearly touch the Close AM. Additionally, the FG initials, designer Frank Gasparo's initials, are slightly closer to the Lincoln Memorial than on the regular strike. These are the subtle details experts use to identify genuine examples. How it happened. The US Mint maintains separate sets of dies for proof coins and business strikes, circulation coins. In 1992, the proof dies featured the Close AM design, meant for the 1992 as proof cents only. However, a few of these proof reverse dies accidentally made their way into the presses for regular pennies. As a result, a very small number of 1992 and 1992D circulation coins were struck with the proof-style reverse. The Mint never officially acknowledged how many were made, but based on discoveries, fewer than 20-30 examples are believed to exist between both mints combined. Market value, 2025 estimates. Because of its rarity and modern appeal, the 1992 Close AM penny is one of the highest valued modern errors in U.S. coinage. Condition, 992 no mint mark, 92D Denver Mint. Very fine VF20, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000. Extremely fine XF40, $4,500, $6,000, $7,000, $9,000. About uncirculated AU50, $8,000, $10,000, $12,000, $15,000. Mint state MS60, MS63, $15,000, $20,000, $20,000, $25,000. High grade MS65 plus, $25,000, $35,000, up to $50,000 plus. Record auction. 25,300 PCGS MS67 ARD, over 50,000 plus confirmed sale. The 1992D Close AM is especially prized. Fewer than a dozen are certified by major grading services like PCGS or NGC, spotting the real one. Because this error is so valuable, here's how to check your own pennies carefully. Flip the coin over. Look at the letters A and M in America. If they're far apart, normal penny. If they're almost touching, you might have a Close AM. Also check the FG initials. They should be close to the memorial. Use a magnifying glass or zoom camera for a better look. Note: many people confuse 1992 with other years like 1998, 1999, or 2000, which also have their own AM varieties. But the 1992 version is by far the rarest and most valuable. Similar varieties to know. The close AM and wide AM confusion isn't limited to 1992. Several years have their own versions. 1992 and 1992D, close AM rare. 98-9 2000 wide AM rare. In short, for 1992 the close AM is valuable. For 1998-2000 the wide AM is valuable. Collectors love these small design differences. They turn ordinary pocket change into treasure hunts. Collector appeal. The 1992 close AM Lincoln Cent is often called the holy grail of modern pennies. It's living proof that valuable errors don't have to be centuries old. You could literally find one in an old coin jar, a cash register, or a collection of pocket change from the 90s. The combination of rarity, simplicity, and accessibility makes it one of the most exciting discoveries for beginner and expert collectors alike. Auction highlights. In 2012, a 1992 close AM graded MS 60 Sven RD by PCGS sold for $25,300. In 2018, a 1992D close AM and MS64 red sold for over $24,000. In recent years, 2024-2025, market demand has surged. Again, as YouTube and TikTok collectors spotlight the variety, with high-grade coins bringing $35,000, $50,000 plus. And here's the most fascinating part. There could still be undiscovered examples sitting in circulation right now. How to search for one. Here's a simple method collectors use to find close AMs. Get a magnifier or coin loop, 10x. Search 1992 and 1992D pennies. Look at America. If the A and M are very close or touching, you might have struck gold. Check FG initials. They should be closer to the memorial building. Verify through PCGS or NGC if you think you found one. Professional authentication is key. It only takes a few seconds to check and the payoff could be life-changing. Avoid common mistakes. Because this variety is so subtle, many people misidentify regular pennies as close AMs. Here are the quick rules. 92 wide AM, normal penny, worth 1 cent. 1992 close AM, rare error worth thousands. And remember, the 1992D close AM is rarer than the no mint mark version. So always check both types. Why it matters. The 1992 close AM penny isn't just another minting mistake. It's a reminder of how even the most advanced minting systems can slip up. One wrong die, one press mix-up, and suddenly you have a legendary modern rarity. It bridges the gap between classic coin collecting and modern discovery, showing that you don't need to dig up gold coins to find something truly valuable. Fun fact: the close AM variety wasn't discovered until 1998. 6 years after the coins were minted, a collector spotted the difference by chance while studying proof coins. And the rest is history. That means for 6 years, people spent or saved these valuable coins without realizing what they were holding. Today, every 1992 penny collector checks that AM instantly, just in case. The 1992 close AM Lincoln Cent proves that even a small design detail can create one of the greatest modern coin treasures. It's the kind of rarity that can still show up in an old jar, reminding us that treasure hunts aren't just for pirates. Sometimes, they're hiding in your pocket change. So the next time you spot a 1992 penny, grab a magnifying glass. Because if the A and M are close enough to kiss, you might be holding one of the rarest modern errors in U.S. history. And that's it, coin lovers. 5 incredible pieces of U.S. history that prove real treasure isn't always made of gold. Sometimes it's hiding in your pocket change. From the legendary 1943 copper penny to the mysterious 1992 close AM Lincoln Cent, each of these coins tells a story of mistakes, miracles, and pure minting magic. If you learned something new today, or just love exploring the hidden world of old coins, then don't forget to like this video, subscribe to OldCoin Secrets, and ring the bell icon so you never miss our next deep dive into the world of rare U.S. coins. Who knows? The next story we uncover might just be sitting in your own coin jar. Thanks for watching. This is OldCoin Secrets, where every coin tells a story, and every story could be worth a fortune.